Hi everybody, we're going to learn all about motion in this next unit, and I'm going to read to you from one of my favorite physics textbooks. It's called The Cartoon Guide to Physics by Larry Godnick and Art Huffman, and it's awesome. It features these two characters. And so she's saying, the first concept we're going to understand is motion. Birds flying, planets whirling, trees falling, all the universe is in motion. This is a straight line course. It's marked off with positive direct distances in the forward direction and negative direct distances in the backward direction. Let's watch my fellow astronaut Ringo as he drives a car on this course. The car is moving with constant speed. That means it's always going the same speed. Then it covers the same distance in each interval of time. So after 1 second, he went 10 meters. After 2 seconds, he went 20 meters. After 4 seconds, 40 meters. And so we know that and so we can say that the distance is how fast he's going, multiplied by how much time it took him to go there. Distance is d, and it's equal to speed, or v, multiplied by time, t. If the speed is 10 meters per second, then each second Ringo travels 10 meters. And in 2 seconds, he goes 20 meters. In 3 seconds, he goes 30 meters. In a minute, he goes 600 meters. So you multiply the number of seconds times the number of meters that he's going every second, and you get the total number of meters that he traveled. After 2 hours, I make a pit stop, he says. Screech! In an ordinary trip, you're always speeding up and slowing down. Your speed is not constant. Then what happens to this equation, t equals vt? Well, if speed is changing, which value of v do you use? It took people a long time to figure out that this was important. The old philosopher said, v changing? That's too confusing. Change must be an illusion. Change is not an illusion. We use observation. You could solve the equation for v to figure out that velocity is distance over time. So distance divided by time. If you divide each 10 meters into seconds, your velocity is how far you go in 1 second. And then you can just figure out, well, how far you went, take away where you started, so you get how far you went in all, divided by the amount of time it took you to go, and you'll get an average speed. And most of the time, especially in middle school, we look at an average speed for the trip. It took the old natural philosophers a long time to figure this out, that objects also have instantaneous speed, the speed at each moment, and that's the number that your speedometer actually says at any given moment. But we're mostly concerned with average speed, where you wound up and where you started, divided by time. Physicists have found that the direction of motion is as important as the speed. They use the word velocity to represent both speed and direction. So, if you travel in the negative direction by backing up or turning around to the left, we say he has negative velocity. That explains why I have negative numbers on my speedometer. And you can think of velocity as an arrow pointing in the direction of motion, like this. And its length tells you how long its speed is. So that's negative 5 miles an hour. But that would be negative 1 meters per second, or miles per hour. I wrote meters per second and said miles per hour. More generally, if Ringo drives in any direction, we can represent velocity with an arrow. So 32 meters per second at 28 degrees east of north, you can draw the arrow, and there you go. Let's work through a practice problem, and then you can start in on your work, on your own problems. Mr. Gordon rides 7 miles in 30 minutes to get to work. What is his average speed? Well, I know that speed is going to be distance divided by time. So I can think of the unit, miles per hour. So my distance was 7 miles divided by my time, that was 30 minutes. That's like 0.5 hours, half an hour. So I know I have miles per hour, so I just have to divide 7 by 0.5. I could use a calculator. I also know that 0.5 goes into 1 twice, because 0.5 plus 0.5 makes 1, and then there are 7 ones in 7. So 2 groups of 0.5 times 7 groups in all makes 14 miles per hour. And I'll call that my answer. Note that I included units all the way through. It tells me what the numbers mean. So, according to this, my average speed on the ride to Manhattan East is 14 miles per hour.